So now the engine's running, we carry on with the seesawing, and as the water pump is pumping the coolant around, hopefully it's pushing out even more of the air bubbles as we carry on seesawing. The level's being checked in the header tank still. Again, just make sure that it doesn't drop out of the funnel or out of the header tank as we go up and down. This process can take anything from 20 minutes to 40 minutes. Just get the engine warm and then we'll start revving shortly once you've got some heat into the engine. Okay, so now we've got the engine warm, and to go for number 3 we'll start applying the throttle gently, bring it up to about 2000 revs, something like that, and you'll be able to see the difference in the levels as the throttle is applied. As water pump speeds up, you'll see the level drop in the funnel. As the revs drop off, the level rises and you get a nice bit of cloudy bubbling coming up through. And again, keep the level in the funnel. Should be able to near enough hold it down. And at this point we go for number 3, take control of the process with the throttle. Take this a bit lower down. After about 10 minutes or so of seesawing up and down with the throttle, see the temperature starts to rise. On the temperature gauge it should start kicking in. You find you have less bubbles coming in, it's a bit cloudier as it's coming up. If you keep it right as low as you can, and then once it fills up, bring it up, and then as the throttle's applied, the level will drop out again. Of course, go for number 2, we're still monitoring the levels under the bonnet as the air escapes to make sure that we're not dropping out of the header tank at all. As the funnel empties, obviously that coolant is going somewhere. That's going to the header tank. So that you know if you've got a full funnel while it's low, it's going to be lower in the header tank. And as you bring it up, that's going to flow back into the header tank. That's the temperature rising nicely now. This is now, I suppose, 20-25 minutes into the process possibly. Each bongo will probably be slightly different, depends on ambient temperatures and wind and all sorts. At this point now, the bottom hose around the front, you feel under the passenger side, underneath, coming from the bottom of the radiator, that should still be cold at this point as the thermostat hasn't opened. We're about 65, 70 degrees at the moment.
Okay, so I'm just feeling the bottom hose, and at this time it's still cold. And the whole point of what's going on with the other two is just to get the engine warm enough so that this thermostat opens and this hose goes hot. Unless that hose goes hot, you're wasting your time. It must go hot.
Now the temperature's rising. Should be getting somewhere near the point where the thermostat opens. Okay, we've got nearly 70 degrees on the thermostat there. Funnel's getting hot to the touch, which is why you make sure you have your gloves. See it steaming away. Shut up. See how slow that is now.
2 more times, good.
So I'll go for number 2, checking the bottom hose at this point. It should start to get warm very shortly. And what we're aiming for is that that bottom hose gets hot, of course. There you go, so we've got a little bit more air there, where you were just getting a few little bubbles. So there we go, that's the bottom hose is just getting warm, getting a few more bubbles of air there, a bit more turbulence as it comes through. See that level's hardly going down now. Thermostat open somewhere between 80 and 85, depending on the thermostat.